All right, GM, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is you're watching us. I'm super excited again to be here with you today. I want to again start by saying thank you for always being a part of this Beat Chase showroom where we discuss everything that pertains to the market, analyzing the market, and bringing you timely information that, yeah, definitely appeals to your interests. Again, I cannot thank you all enough for being a part of this, and I really want to appreciate your intentional engagement. So let's start by dropping GM if you're hearing me clear enough on the group. I'd love for you to drop some GMs. Let's all have your day greetings and greetings and greetings. Let's drop all of those greetings right in the live room. Today's a very wonderful day. It's the Macro News Volatility and Live Market Analysis Wednesday. Thank God it's Wednesday, and I think for me, this is a great day. For us to get going, into why we practically are here. And as usual, there are there are great opportunities for you in the live room. So you don't want to miss out on them. We're going to do analysis. Like I said, we are going to continue on our analysis. And I'm going to be showing you where we were as at yesterday, where we stopped, and how we're going to be probably continuing. It's important. Hey, if you're right here, yeah, it is. GM, thanks for saying that. It's nice to see the market moving with real momentum. All right. So I was going to say something, which is we hope to keep our communications way more intentional within the theme for our, everyday's live session. And I would love for you to do something important for me, and not just for me, for every one of us. It's simple. Get a friend to join our live stream. If I actually tune or turn on the window we're going to be talking about. By the way, we're in a bullish market. If you care to know, even though we're going to be taking taking advantage of the market ups and down, we're in a bullish market. So that's very clear. While we're going to be waiting to get into the very moment ahead of us, I would want us to do something importantly, right? Help share this, please. Drop this with your friend. I'm going to be doing that myself. I'm dropping this across my group rooms. I want to tell everyone to please tune in and sort of join me on this live stream right away. Kind of making these posts, and I think it's sort of important, All right, I'm sorry, I got a message. I think it's important that we just help with these posts, right? I think that's pretty important. Yeah, that we just get with that post. Yeah, I think it's kind of important that we just sort of get along with this post. And the reason for that is simple. Once we share this, we are telling others that we are enjoying some valuable discussions here, and we want them to also not miss out, right? Practically, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's essentially why we are. Yeah, that's practically why I think it's kind of important for us to share this. So I'm gonna probably be dropping this across the board. So nobody misses out. I drop this across to my friends. Once I'm done sharing, okay, let's start by showing you guys a window display so you all can see where the market kind of is in relation to what we literally forecasted yesterday. I would love for you all to tell me what you think in the live room, and let's begin to get the vibe ongoing, right? I think it's kind of important to get all of those started so everyone can see what it is the market is probably going to be showing us. Right. So this is where we are, right? As regard the market, we analyze the market is going to probably drop right down here and of course buy back up, which is what we think is this sort of seed going to hold. that 66K will be a critical buy point for the market to, sort of pivot, you know. All right, so I think that's kind of important. Yeah, so I mean, I would love for us to get into why we're here in a moment after we're done sharing. So I can just tell folks to join me. And I'm going to tell folks also to sign up because that's what we're doing. The first 2 minutes, if you're watching, please, you have our code and our links across your faces on YouTube. If you're watching us right now, please do well to sign up. Using the Fimex link, you're seeing there's a lot of, you know, um, bonus or welcome bonus that is waiting for you by just simply signing up, and it doesn't take so much to sign up, right? Just get yourself signed up and registered, and that's it. And it's going to probably be the beginning of a very, very great journey for you on this trustworthy crypto, exchange, yeah. So I mean, I think we did mention yesterday, so we can get started into, started with why we're here. We mentioned yesterday that we're going to be having the unemployment claims news tomorrow, which is Thursday, and I think you should watch out for the live session where we're going to be addressing that matter. Right? We're going to be addressing that matter not just because of the volatility that is going to probably become. We're going to be focusing on what we should expect in relation to that volatility. Um, yeah, you have to sign up and get some. Yeah, so just a moment. Just finalizing my link sharing from this side. Guys, it's important people really get ready with us. Okay? So I think that's, hey, but this is sort of part of why we're here. I think it's kind of important for keep things that way. Yep. Okay. Now, as we're going to keep at what we're doing here today, the idea of tomorrow being a special day focusing on smart money analysis is so that whatever forecast we have about the macro news and market volatility today, we would be very much prepared to take advantage of that, given that today will be a precursor into what we should be expecting tomorrow. All right, now, so these are tapped in right here. The stop loss is not yet mitigated. Let me just start by looking at how the daily candle plays out, and what have we. I think it's kind of important and necessary for us to look at it that way. So yeah, I mean, what else do you expect, guys? Just tell me, what do you think? Yeah, so I'm just wanting us to answer all of these questions in the course of today as we look at the macro news. Bitcoin is currently on 65K, and yesterday's candle did not take out this high. Why that is, I cannot tell right now. Ethereum, on the other hand, is struggling with that red zone, which is a region of resistance after the breakout point. And so there are many questions about will this point hold or not. You don't answer that today, but then I think we should be, pick special interest into what the market news is like for today. I'll have to check the comment sections in the room. Thank you for joining, CC. Thank you. I appreciate. Yeah, yeah, I appreciate. Okay, now let's start with looking at Forex Factory, and the general news we have on CoinMarketCap for today. I'm gonna probably read out the news we have on CoinMarketCap. We're gonna take time to look into that. Oh wow! Interestingly, today we have a market news. President Trump is gonna be speaking at 7 p.m. UTC, which is about 8 p.m. West Africa time. You could always convert that to your own time, so you know what time it is that is gonna be speaking. And at this time, I mean, at this point, you can tell that when Trump speaks or the White House is saying something, there's going to be like a ripple effect in the crypto market. I think that's practically true, and everyone knows that, right? So yeah. Now that said, I don't think it's out of place for us to quietly begin to. We'll come back to the analysis. But then let's look at the market news. We're going back and forth the market news, and then we're going to be coming back to analyze the market and taking trades for today. All right. All right. So this is the news we have for today regarding the dollar markets, the dollar in the forex market. So Trump's going to speak at that time, 8 p.m. And yeah, I mean, this is where we're going to get into detail. Whitehouse.gov, and then we are having unemployment claims. Not so much impact is expected, but essentially this news is the measurement of the number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the last week. So essentially the impact of this news is, so there's an actual data, there's a forecasted data. Once the actual data is less than the forecasted data, that means the dollar is stronger. So the actual unemployment in the US from the previous week, once is less than what was forecasted regarding unemployment for the previous week, that means the US economy is doing great, isn't it? Of course, yes. And so yeah, so the thing is, I'm going to answer the questions in the comment section. Just a minute, let me just be done with this line of thoughts of mine. So the thing is, once the actual data is more, which is the actual unemployment from the previous week, is more than the forecasted data of unemployed folks for the previous week, that's bad for the dollar. That's bad. And so which is why we did analyze the DXY or the dollar index on Monday. Why? So that we know that every other pair that appeared with the dollar index might probably, react accordingly. Meaning, if the dollar is strong, it could be weak. If the dollar is weak, they could be strong. And so for today, the forecasted data, again, every of these things are very great, and they have their place of irregularity, don't mind me. The forecasted data is 211,000 folks. We don't know what the actual is going to probably be. But then that's it. So tomorrow, we should expect some high impact or some kind of volatile markets. Somewhere around 12:30 p.m. UTC or 1:30 p.m. West Africa time. Right. Yeah, that's about an hour before the official flag off of the New York session. Oh, great. There is that's okay. These are the headlines for today. So what do you think my forecast is for this dollar? I'll tell you what my forecast is in one snap of thoughts. My forecast is going to be like simple. So I think Bitcoin is going to probably gain strength today and grow weak tomorrow. If that's the case, Bitcoin should be somewhere around 68K tomorrow morning. Somewhere around that should be the handle open. My thoughts. So if that's the case, then the dollar should gain strength. Now, this is me giving a forecast. By the way, it's not a financial advice. Again, just pay attention. So if dollar is going to gain strength tomorrow, I think I'm going to probably say That to also imply, you know, that the US economy is doing great. Is that not how to read it? That's how to read it. So, okay, again, fine. I'm just giving this forecast and looking at the charts. I think what I can see right now from the dollar index clearly, from the chart, which I think I like to look into, is also a likely bullish market. The dollar market we had forecasted is going to go upwards, and I'm going to probably show you that later on. I'm going to show you the chart, but then that's very, very important. I state right now. So no one thinks I'm going out of context. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going out of context, and I think it's sort of important for us to just sort of have it that way. Hmm. Oh, fine, great. Now let's look at the forex. I mean, the market news for the week. I mean, for the day. Bitcoin currently is approaching the $70,000 in its recovery grand scheme. I mean, you all guys could literally see the market price for today. Right. Let me just give you a bit of head up on that. The Bitcoin is currently at $66,054. Ethereum is on 1,926. Gold is currently trading at $4,120 at a 1% upward movement. Then you have SUICU, which is trading at $0.7, literally 76 cents at a negative 1.4% downward movement. And then you have Solana at $77.5, BNB at $571, and Quant at $64.39. And again, I'm going to be bringing you much more details in the course of this market right now. I think that's very important for us to say. All right, so that is very important. I'm sorry, I got it sort of information. What have you? So, and I just want to just I'm gonna probably answer that later on. So these are the news for this day. Bitcoin price to $70,000 as three macro signals support a broader recovery. Yeah, before I get going, let me just even check what the comment is like in the comment section. So what I see is BTC or ETH today, pick one. Serafina. So I think I'm gonna pick BTC today. Let me just give you for free. Why? Because I think my analysis on BTC is likely gonna be playing out. We're gonna probably order buy today, and of course we're gonna have a sell tomorrow. Don't crucify me. That's my take on the market right now, based on the available information to me right now. So I hope that answers your question about my side. What exact coin am I gonna probably take today? I mean, Bitcoin it is. My stop loss 65400. It's a risky trade, but then I think that's my take. That's my take. By the way, ID really dropped. You can imagine it really dropped. Not joking. It dropped like big time. So, and that's because of the analysis we gave for Bitcoin yesterday. Right now, I think that's very important for me to sort of say. Just a moment, please, guys. Okay, I don't even understand why this is not even executing right now. Right, let's maybe just leave it at the price we've just left for it. Great, let's get going. So the news is Bitcoin price to $70,000 as three macro signals support a broader recovery. Two spot Bitcoin ETFs record $203 million in sixth straight day of inflows. Great. The inflows has been so massive. Foundry USA opens BIP 110 vote, largest Bitcoin mining pool dividend on proposal. Here's why Bitcoin bulls should take a closer look at interest rates. I mean, it's very much clear. Then you have Cryptoda, Ikaye, Donemi. I mean, that's a very different language. The XRP whales ramp up buying as price climbs to 2-week high. Strategy, of course, MicroStrategy stopped buying Bitcoin. The flywheel runs backward. I think we can probably stop at the next two ones. Pakistan $6 or $10 billion US facility eyes expansion in digital assets and stablecoins. And Clarity Act Section 701 keep your crypto safe in bankruptcy. We're gonna probably be starting from that point. And again, not financial advice. We just want to give you our hot take as regard this market. Stay tuned as we get locked into the all details for today. So, well, the question I have in the group is, what would Trump say in his statement? I don't know what he's going to say. Of late, there's not been so much discuss around, the Epstein files. There's not been so much discuss around, the what's it called, the war between U.S. and Iran. Of course, there's been reparations right now sent and prepared and agreed upon to be given to the Iranian government. So, well, what he's going to say probably is going to probably cycle around the Clarity Act, the U.S. reformation and several other innovative decisions that are being taken within the senatorial body of the United States of America. So for us, what he's got to say could definitely cycle around any of those. And by the way, we can actually check what's been prevailing in the posts from the White House. I think that's very much easier for us. So let's get into X, if you don't mind me doing. Waiting for that to load. Of course, once it loads, I'm going to probably be showing you what we have on the White House. White House's page. The White House, only one White House, interestingly. I don't know what that is, but then that's what you have right there. So to find out what Trump is going to probably be saying, we're going to check what this is all about. So historic meeting in the Oval Office with Lebanon's president and the vision for peace. The vision for peace. The vision for peace. So I don't know if there's going to be like a discussion around. By the way, Israel has been having several battles across the Middle East, including Lebanon. You're aware of that. So, the Lebanese president is going to meet Donald Trump. I don't know what y'all could expect. I don't know what's really going on. And I don't know if that is going to be probably what he's going to probably be saying. Who knows? So, to Luna's question, who's still holding cash waiting for a bigger dip? The thing is, you just shouldn't be over leveraged, like putting all your cash in crypto. You definitely need to hold cash, at least to meet your needs. And then if the market presents a newer level of dip, fine, good. And if not good, you've already strategically used dollar cost averaging to get your funds or stables rotated back into the market. And I think that is very much great. So since crypto regulation is moving forward in the US, it is a bullish reality, not a noise, Luna. I hope that answers the question. Apparently, the US is really moving the needle intentionally towards making itself, or making the country, the crypto capital of the world. I mean, this is not my word. You could take Trump's word for it. But then I want to just look at what we've been having here across the White House's page and see what is being the center of discourse. So now, J.D. Vance, Vice President, he wrote on X, quote, "If only there was a way to stop this type of software error that allowed non-citizens to vote in our elections, I hope Senators, Cory Booker and Senator and they will join us in voting to pass the Save America Act to ensure that only eligible American voters can participate in New Jersey elections and all elections across the United States." All right. So there's been discourse currently apparently prevailing in the lips of several politicians in the United States of America that has to deal with keeping America electoral process safe as it ought to be. And it's been, one of the discourse in the past 24 hours. There's been communication from the Department of War, exec SecWar, Kane testifying in support of supplemental budget requests. So I don't know what they've got to do, but then the Department of War is also having their own part. You can tell that whatever it is Trump is going to probably be saying, all right, join the fight. All right, Shane Panel, I don't know is, oh, okay, is the assistant to the Secretary of War for Public Affairs, chief Pentagon spokesman, and senior advisor to Sec War. So, well, so send me is the tag for enlisting folks in the US, I guess. So, I mean, I don't know if they are putting out some recruitment campaigns, but then whatever it is, Trump is going to probably say is going to be a summary of all of these prevalent thought processes. And I hope that answers your question. It means the patriotism, the cabinet is on TikTok. New platform, new energy. So, Axios, Trump's cabinet members are joining TikTok. Guys, all of those are important. Science, a new golden age. Okay, I don't know, but then there's never been a thing that has to do with crypto. I think, to the best of my knowledge, everything that we've seen so far up until the past 15 hours of their post or retweet on the White House's page has not even cycled into the Clarity Act. I think we've gotten a whole lot of what we've got to get us regarding what we think the market's going to. I mean, what we think Trump is going to probably be saying, and yes, if that's going to probably be affecting the market. I mean, I'm not thinking it's going to probably affect the market as such, and his statement is going to be like at 8 p.m. today. So yeah, so this is Trump's post as posted on the White House's page. It says, "quote Thank you all." Of the House Republicans who are supporting the first step towards getting as much of the Save America Act as possible in the budget bill, and to our great Speaker Mike Johnson. I'm asking all House Republicans to vote yes on this very important budget resolution. I'm watching the vote very closely and hope Republicans can unify your elections against all forms of foreign country interference and illegal alien voting. President Donald Trump. And I think that answers your question about what is Trump likely going to be saying. It's likely to be focusing on re-emphasizing their resolution for the Republican Party to vote yes, right, on the Save America Act. Again, a very important, newly issued treaty from the presidency. So they do not allow illegal voting in the electoral system of the United States of America. Right. So I mean, I think that's pretty much prevailing, and talks around enlisting for battle, and talks around yeah, I mean, what was it that the wait, I saw a newspaper CENTCOM? CENTCOM forces began striking military target in Iran. CENTCOM forces began striking military targets in Iran at Eastern time today for the 11th consecutive time. The strikes are designed to continue degrading Iran's ability to threaten. Wait. I just saw this. What? I mean, I thought we're done with this war. I mean, just as everyone else is reading that on social media, very easy, I thought. But then this is what you have from the United States Central Command, CENTCOM, the official account of the U.S. Central Command. It says CENTCOM forces began striking military targets in Iran at 7 p.m. Eastern time today. I mean, this is a news released 30 minutes into midnight from the U.S. state. And again, guys, the strikes are designed to continue degrading Iran's. Okay. This person is caught, says, quote, why is Big Mouth and hashtag Fox News broadcasting to Iran and the world is planning to eat Pickaxe Mountain? More failed strategy. Iran may still have the ability to move more nuclear material underground channels. So, wow. And computer service CENTCOM forces began strike military targets. Okay. Yes, and it's 2089. This is making a sarcastic joke, whatever it is. You're still the biggest, okay, no matter what, and nobody wants to die. Fine. Sometimes I'll just start a war, and I don't even know where it is going. I just hope I find along the way. It exits. So this is definitely a Gemini. All right, guys. I mean, there's an ongoing promotion I'm going to probably be reading out for you. It is deposit $5 to unlock $10 promotion. It's currently available. After completing the $10 reward, you can continue participating in the 388 USDT I mean, I think I'm gonna probably also copy these and also make a pin post for that. Let me drop this on our YouTube, right? So no one misses out on what we're dropping. Very, very important. So they can actually take advantage of this current ongoing, event. By the way, okay, I think that's it. By the way, guys, what do y'all think? Still not proportional enough. Let's get it to 40 days and 40 nights, and we can circle back. It's kind of the summary people are saying. American history does not repeat itself, but there are points in time when personal leadership is revealed. So Trump returns, meaning they're still really fighting the battle. I mean, I thought they were done, and until I saw that, and I'm saying, well, there might be update about the war going on between the Iranian government and the United States of America. War. I mean, there might be updates also going on about the Clarity Act. Maybe sometimes later on into the whole discourse or discussion time, there might be, updates regarding the Save America Act, which is the new executive order that is probably being debated and to be approved by the Senate. So, I mean, I think there is just so much that could actually come forth. But then I think I want to go check what we have from the Minister of Finance, Iran. I know that's the folk I get the most important news updates regarding the Iranian government from. I think it's the Minister of Finance to the Iranian government. Um, yeah, I'm trying to remember his name right now. Right, I'm trying to remember his name. I'm just gonna hope I get it. But then this is what we get. So let's sort of listen to this together. I don't know. War Secretary accept rights and updated cost for the war in Iran. The estimate we have as of today is $37.5 billion. So they are really raising money for war. The only reason we are at war with Iran is because, is this true? I don't think this is true. This is GBC Press. I don't think. Wait, can this be real? Let's listen to that. What? Oh my God. I mean, the US Secretary of State, Rubio. I want to listen to what he says. I think his name is Mark Rubio. Let's listen to what he says about this matter. Just gonna probably unmute this mic or this desktop audio so you guys could hear this with me. Let's listen again. I'm gonna probably continue from that point. Now we're looking at macro, you know, events, news, and of course volatility. And again, these are reasons why we need to really pay attention to these right now, right? And so that's why today is very, very important. And you could see how it's literally it coincides with when this news came to light. Let's listen. And of course, don't forget to stay tuned while we keep at it.
The United States conducted this operation with a very clear goal in mind. I haven't got a chance to see a lot of reporting. I don't understand what the confusion is. Let me explain it to you, and I'll do it once again as clearly as possible. Perhaps you'll report it that way. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy, particularly to naval assets. That is what it is focused on doing right now, and it's doing quite successfully. I'll leave it to the Pentagon and the Department of War to discuss the tactics behind that and the progress that's being made. That is the clear objective of this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond and respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act.
All right, guys. I mean, I hope you all heard that very much clearly. This is allegedly from the Secretary of State, Mark Rubio. Again, I think I need to be so sure that was from him because it looks like it was kind of different from them. But then looking at the fact that from Fox News, we could get much more updates, right? You know, the Department of War has released the identity of a third U.S. service member believed to have been killed in the Iranian attack on Muafa Salti Air Basin in Jordan. We should identify this area as Sergeant Angel Rampasat. Now, guys, now you might just be thinking, what are we doing here? What we're doing here is bringing close enough to you all what is really going on right now in the market. What are the news that is going on? How is this going to probably be affecting stuff? Now, first off, let me just say something. I'm gonna be opening a market chart. I'm gonna be looking at XCI. I can tell you for free that the US oil is gonna probably make crazy comeback. Like it or not, that's a fact. Bro, bro, bro. It's already Jesus Christ. So from July the 8th, oil now is been crazily buying. It's been up 25% right now. I mean, it just didn't occur to me. I've just taken my eyes off oil. Right. I just thought of going to check that market right now, and it's been up, right? Like this week alone, the oil oligarchs already knew about this. They knew about this, man, and of course, the market is really pushing up big time. We're gonna come back to look at the chart. I'm looking at the chart back, don't mind me, but I'm just going to say, let's go check oil chart because I know it's going to probably react. And there you go. I saw that the market has reacted. So a massive fire erupted at a wild berries warehouse in Russia following what officials described as a Iranian drone attack. Anyways, wars, rumors of war, several things happening right now. What could be the impact of this in the crypto market? Well, I think, you know, war times are not always a good time for the crypto market. 2022 Q1, Q2 was about the time when when the Ukrainian government and Russia government were in war, and of course that was like the heat of the bear market. Up until November of that year, the market was still essentially bearish. Yeah, so just to say, this is not going to leave no mark on the market. There's going to be like a mark, like an effect, so you can always expect that. Yeah, I think I would want us to check the correlation between the oil market and the Bitcoin market, just so we can all be on the same page. And I'm not going to be probably saying things off my mind because I think Bitcoin is inversely correlated to the oil market. We're going to check and confirm that anyways, by the way. So this is what we have from Fox News. Targeting Tehran, SEC, Mark Rubio warns that Iran remains unserious about the deal as the US. So wait a minute, I thought they had a deal all along. So they've never been. So I think I've just been totally totally been disconnected from all of what is going on, right? What is Pantami saying? That's a Pantami Mandami. So let's hit the what Mandami says. I think we need to listen to what he says. I mean, I think it's out of place to do so because I think it's very, very important. So yes, let's listen. Yep, let's do that.
As I've said, I agree with the ICC that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes, as I do for anyone else charged by the ICC. My administration has reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant. The federal government, however, does, and I call on them to join the ICC and execute this warrant. And I want to be equally clear. Benjamin Netanyahu is not welcome in New York City, nor is any other war criminal at large. While we cannot end the genocide on our own, we can decide whether our silence will become another weapon, and we can examine every tool we have to defend the humanity and dignity of all people. That is my commitment to you. As I've said, I agree with the ICC that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes, as I do for anyone else charged by the ICC.
All right, guys. I think we literally, yeah, we literally get the pick of what he was saying. I mean, just that the lips and the voice is not syncing. I don't know if they're using AI on all of this right now. I don't know if they're just putting Mandami's voice, because am I the only one seeing what I'm seeing? It's not making sense to me yet, anyways. Because why is that sync not happening? I don't know. And that was from Fox News.
Tonight we're getting a look.
Kind of skewed. Let me check if there are comments right.
As I've said, I agree with
also
the ICC.
in agreement with what I was saying. Right. Maduro's arrest is illegal, right? Yeah. I want to arrest Netanyahu. Okay. Kind of a great one. All right. Resident of Flynn, NYC, instead of playing pretend geopolitical leader to appease the is socialist, Madam, you should fix New York. Fine. So,
it's a really important.
So, guys. All right. I don't know if that is very much Mandami's voice or some, I can't even really say.
Tonight we're getting a
But then
look at
again,
newly
guys,
released
there's
internal
several
federal
things right
records
now.
about the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. Turns out, many of the experts who publicly
Documents
insisted the
obtained by
coronavirus came
Senator
from
Rand
bats.
Paul. There's some experts who publicly downplayed the lab leak theory, privately acknowledged uncertainty about where the virus originated, while new records also indicate the FBI blocked Customs and Border Protection from interviewing EcoHealth Alliance's Peter Daszak after his return from China. Well, the disclosures come as Dr. Anthony Fauci is set to testify under subpoena next week. With U.S. intelligence agencies still divided over whether COVID-19 originated from a lab or occurred naturally. Whatever
Of course,
it is,
that's also why
right
it's
now.
okay to attack ICE buildings and law enforcement, all the things. Guys, we live here. So let's talk about what the mayor and what this policy is doing, and let's point out and really bring to light his rampant hypocrisy that puts at risk all of us. So
yeah, I'm sorry I had that plane underground. So yeah, I was going to talk about the fact that I was going to talk about the fact that there's still a war going on, and that is part of the news we need to pay attention to in our understanding of the market. So our trade entry, our trade execution, what have we, several other things. This is about time for us to stay cautious. I'm not joking. In fact, the best I'm going to probably say is just, I'm really not going to be advising of, so if we're going to be taking a trade, I think we should take trade in the light of the metal market. So we're going to trade gold. I think that explains why gold is pumping, explains why oil is pumping. We're going to check silver. We're going to be trading TradFi more. I think I'm going to be opening the TradFi session of our trade today. We're going to probably deal with TradFi, guys. I think that's very important. We're going to be probably dealing with TradFi. I'm going to also check if we have oil listed here right now. I mean, I think that's very much important for me, since this is like TradFi session. I'm going to be very much wanting us to do that. We're going to short break right now, so I want you to stick around. If you want to know where my analysis is going to probably be like, or oh my god, I only have gold and commodities. Okay, fine, not bad. So I'm gonna probably deal with the gold. You want to stick around and find out where my gold entry is gonna probably be like, where I would probably be taking my gold trade from, what I think about gold in relation to all of this news. So fine, I mean, we've not even read this news we had opened. Let me probably read this one out. Can Clarity Act Section 701 keep your crypto safe in bankruptcy? All right, several stories. Senator Cynthia Lummis recently highlighted the purpose of the bill with a simple message on X: your crypto stays safe, quote, and end of quote. So that was from what she says. And according to the latest legislative text released by the U.S. Senator Banking Committee, Clarity Act Section 701 would classify qualifying digital commodities and ancillary assets held in custody for customers as customer property in certain Chapter 7 bankruptcy case. So the long story short of all of this is wanting to know if the Clarity Act is going to be like a good loss for keeping your crypto safe within the allowances, within the provisions, within the provenances, or what's the word, within the security of the bankruptcy rule or act in the US. So, well, I hope you understand what bankruptcy is, anyways. So I'm gonna probably talk about that. But then this is where we are currently. As I'm gonna be taking this news one after the other and reading them after the other. I want you to stick with me as I give out my analysis. I'm gonna be right back, guys. I think yes, we have a long position on Bitcoin really opened. I'm gonna come back on this just a minute. I'm gonna be right back. Taking a short break. I hope you're gonna probably sit here with us while we get this stuff fine-tuned to meet your interest. Once again, keep streaming, keep trading, sign up on our own account. I'm looking forward to having you on our communities. Thank you. Right, guys? Yeah, so good to be back. Personally, today actually I have a trip to make in the next few minutes, actually. And I'm just trying to see how I can be more prepared and intentional to do good delivery in the course of this live session. So, guys, bear with me. So much I'm trying to catch up with and multitasks into. So, interestingly, I can tell you for free, gold is definitely, yeah, gold is definitely going to be making new high. Maybe it's going to get to 4,200. I still really can't tell. But again, I think there is an avenue for every one of us to. Okay, let me bring us back to trading view so we can look at the chart ourselves on gold. There's an avenue for us to strategically see how we can take advantage of this current market news and volatility that comes with that. Again, I don't know if that is going to probably be explaining why I think the dollar is going to probably gain strength. So one thing happens during the war. One thing happens during the war. The stock market dumps, oil pumps, and sometimes the dollar just misbehaves, or sometimes it goes up. So I want us to look at two things, like I did mention, the correlation between the oil market. You guys could see this is oil, this is XTI, this is like, the West Texas, intermediate oil. I think for me, let me just look at the, West Texas, like I did mention, that's the oil. This chart I don't like, but okay, let me use a different one. Right, we're gonna look at the correlation between this particular oil, guys, and Bitcoin. And of course, when we look into both, trust me, trust me, we'll be able to then say what we think is the active move this market has been making. Boy, oh boy. All right, let me just draw the correlation. Okay. Okay. So, and the correlation we're going to be looking at is in recent time, especially since the beginning of this year. When the war began was on the 26th of January, somewhere around that time. So look at what happened, just so you could all be on the same page with me and understand what I'm trying to say and communicate. Okay, let me use a different no, let me leave it. Let me just probably delete everything. Yeah. So look at this point. This is around the 26th. Right. So what do you all notice at that point? Clearly you can tell that for the Bitcoin charts, let me use so I want to use a candle chart. I mean, I wished I could use a candle chart for that. Well, anyways, just try to understand. So you could see how oil, okay, let me just use a line graph for oil also. So you could see how oil around that point went up. This is oil's chart, the one at the top. The one at the bottom is Bitcoin's. So Bitcoin dropped, and at critical intervals where you see oil dropping, there you see Bitcoin pumping. So let me just mark. You see that? That was the point oil dropped. That was the point Bitcoin pumped. And I mean, at all of those critical nodes, you'll be noticing that. Now look at the point where oil began to buy. Bitcoin is like going sideways. Hey guys, it's now looking freaking uncertain. And I think we need to really know how to connect all of these nodes and understand what is really out at play here. But then there was suddenly a time when they just sort of correlated together, right? I mean, where they moved together like in the dump. Look at that. But in so look at that. Let me just sort of mark this point so you can see what I'm saying. So they were anti-correlated at multiple occasions, right? So you know that point, this point. Okay, no, that's an exception. Yeah. So what do you see? Yeah. Um. Just a minute, please. So you could see that at those points where we have marked red, the green counterpart, which is like for the oil chart, is going to be showing you how the market went up. The market went at opposite direction like that. So for me, I think really oil is literally going to be gaining more strength amid all of this, because it's very much likely people are going to be speculating on oil going upwards and Bitcoin could actually start dumping. Following this right now, I think I might need us to really readjust our analysis and, of course, recapitalize our focus and evaluate our discipline across this market. This market calls for a sell. I'm not joking. Based off what I'm seeing right now on oil and all of this right now, yeah, so the exceptions to the rule is this. This point where they both went at, they were correlated. Yeah, they sold at the same time. But like at other point, you could see that they went in opposite direction, right? That's the only exception. So now this is a new initiation. It's very much likely this is going to be a continuation of the war. And so I think what I think we need to pay attention to way more right now is how we can, kind of take advantage of the market. I don't know how the stock market is going to probably react to it. This is serious and bloody. I don't even know right now. Only maybe MRNA may survive it, but I don't know how many other stocks might just. I just don't know really, right? Because these are one of the realities that comes with trading during market, volatility or war, right? These are the things that comes. These are the things people need to really face. Like people have to know that themselves. It sort of happens. Yeah, so trying to look into several other people's comments and thoughts. Okay. Guy, oh guy. I'm not joking. This is serious. Very much serious. No jokes. No jokes. So, I mean, we already have the news right now. Let's just see what we can actually do with our analysis and trade execution. Yeah. Guys. I don't know. I don't know. Like when I'm saying I don't know, it's not as if I don't know, no. But then I think the more I look at it right now with all of this, so I think one thing is certain. Let me just sort of mark this out and of course drop this in our group. But we have a community group on Telegram. So if you wonder, we have a Telegram community group. So that's US oil. And then this is Bitcoins. Okay. All right. What do I think is going to play out in the next few days? Really? I think Bitcoin is going to probably dump. I'm not joking. Just me looking at it, I have every reason to really bring my thoughts around this whole thing right now. Fine, let's get back to a candle chart and take out the Bitcoins. So let me analyze oil first. Let me analyze oil. This is an expansion into a key level, but then I think this is just going to be like a furtherance. The next day's candle probably going to be opening at 86, but I think we are still going to be having much more buy. Yeah, it's going to probably keep pushing right now. More reason why, in fact, this might be the, hey, I'm thinking I will have to short Bitcoin. I'm not joking. Let me get to open BTC chat. This Bitcoin and Ethereum looks like a good shot. So right now, I think we should just, I'm thinking of something like that. Not a financial advice, I must say. Please don't take my word for it. Yeah, bringing Ethereum to 1006. Right, not a financial advice, guys. Then I think I'm gonna probably do this. So maybe I should also check with other indicators if there are indications for me to consider a consider a sell. But then actually I'd expected we're gonna be having a buy today before a sell. So let me look at what the New York session had done for today. Didn't take liquidity rest above that point. Why shouldn't it done that? So let me just play out my SMC analysis so you guys could see that. I'm probably going to be using this tomorrow for an SMC analysis. So look out for that. You see, we have a breakup structure, and of course, analysis is clear. So this tells me that there's going to be like a buy point somewhere around here for this guy, for US oil. Yeah, for US oil, I'm going to probably be thinking of taking a buy there. Boy, oh boy, what's popping here? Looking at this right now, I think it should be around. Okay. So this is an analysis we sort of have, but then I mean, so if I'm expecting US oil to drop a little bit like this before going upward, I'm anticipating a 7% drop. Could that potentially affect the reason for why this market could go 4% upwards? I mean, just me thinking around analyzing this market and seeing how we can actually position around this right now, because like at the long run, we need to forecast on anyone made good trade recently, share your experience. So the best trades I've made was one we made last week. Right now, we've not really made some very great trades this week. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, just been true. So clearly, I mean, y'all know that once this low gets taken, the market is dumping really, but then I think it's becoming way more clearer with the current position of the market right now. So there is still an ongoing war. Please bear that in mind and roger that into the analysis that we're currently having right. Yeah. A minute, please. Just I want to make it just a discuss with a friend. I think this is important. I don't know. What are the odds this market could come back right here? But I don't think so. Just a minute. Right, guys. Yeah. Okay. Fine. For me, I think it's becoming more and more clear when I look at this market right now. So we've been having like, let me even look at the sessional look on this market. We've had a ranging market that began yesterday as at 6 a.m. Tokyo time, West Africa. It was a ranging market till now, and this is Bitcoin right now, guys. I don't know if it's gonna probably go upwards. I'm not so sure. We should look at what New York is gonna probably do. I don't know. But the more I look at this market, I don't want to believe that this market is... I actually thought it's going to probably buy, which is still my expectation, because this point has not been taken out yet. And I think... Yeah, I think we should just yeah, I think we should just tread carefully because right now a whole lot of things could actually happen. Right, a whole lot of things, a whole lot of things, really a whole lot of things. Because me thinking this market could drop all the way back here may also not be the thing. But then just wanting to be very much careful, I think we need to tread carefully and trade, kind of carefully. That's my honest thoughts. So if you ask me my 1 out of 5, I'm thinking fine. If this is a ranging market, there is no clear breakout. Why don't you wait for the breakout to happen? Then you run the breakout. What are the chances of the markets selling from these heights? Let me check. So I don't know, but it's what I'm thinking this is all about, and this is what is playing out right now. And I think if we could actually hold on to this, I don't know what's going to probably be the case, but then I'm thinking this might just be a thought. Just really a thought. Again, it's not a financial advice because, like, when you look at the market and what it's probably going to be doing, almost just don't know how many things are going to probably be playing out. But then I think this is what my thoughts are. Because of the news right now, I have re-evaluated our disposition. The feast range is suggesting that first off, there'll be a touchdown at 1,800, which is, I think, very much likely to happen. So tomorrow's play out is one thing I can't really say for a fact. This is what is going to happen. I really can't say. I mean, I really can't say. So, but then I think this is my current disposition right now, like it or not, that I don't think I'm feeling this market going to buy now, even though I know we are very much bullish. Don't get me wrong. I'm only saying that I know we are bullish. We are, because I think we are. But then I'm looking at the market right now and I'm trying to understand what it is that it's doing, and the fact that this whole push right here didn't really make so much move. So for me, I mean, I think that's currently my reason for saying let's just take this shot right now. I think so. I think so. I don't know about that, but then I'm looking at the market and I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking this might just be a selling market, right? Instead of what I thought the market is gonna probably be doing right now. Bye. Apparently, it's approaching the stop loss zone, but then we can't say it's gonna probably do that. But then, hey, this analysis is still sort of still what's the word, valid. So this is saying we could drop to 62k. And this is how many percent drop from here? So I think could be the thing, really could be, because I mean, no one really knows. What is point of control? There's one point of control there. Fine, there are 2 point of controls. There's one there, 1% away. There's another one here, which is like 5% away. We use a fixed volume range, of course, just to see where there is a high prayer point for the market to kind of trade into, you know. Because this is it. This is the red zone. Oh. Oof. Boy. The days ahead are going to be very much tricky. I'm going to tell you for free. And I think more reason why I'm going to just tell you, try as much as possible to have a lot of cash, and play safe. Don't over leverage and don't expose yourself in the course of a trade. Because really, this is it. It's easy to analyze a bullish market. I mean, when the market's all going up and going up. But when we are trying to really play safe and play well at the end of a particular bearish or bullish market, it's something very much tricky, I must say. Let's look at this now. Link from its ridiculous all-time high is currently at a critical low. And if you would ask me if I slot in RSI indicator, what's that one telling me? We're having a bullish divergence, for God's sake. And so this tells me on a weekly time frame that we are preparing for a real long move on the RSI chart, which again is very correct and valid. Yeah. Thank you, Sissy. So when it comes to trading, I think one of the chiefest thing we owe ourselves is to ensure that our capitals are preserved. Because, you know, there's a particular proverb in my local dialect. I'm going to say this. It says, I would interpret this moja mosala makinkonju to ba moja yo mosa abogunlo. I would interpret. It says, knowing how to fight and how to retreat is how we know a brave fighter. A fighter who knows to fight but does not know how to retreat will be lost or dead in the battle. So when it comes to trading, you've got to see it as a war. Like, what is there that is a war? Your capital is something to be preserved, and that's the truth. Knowing that you don't have to be forced, or you don't need to fight everybody to or take every trade, or, you know, see everything in the market is what really matters. It might just be that you just need one confirmation for you, and that's all that really makes your edge. And until you see that thing, you just have no business taking a trade. And so really, when I looked at the market and I sort of think, fine, this might just be a selling market, and really we have to recapitalize and reevaluate stuffs, because the news, of course, many connections, the chart, the reactions, the price closures. It might just be that you need to take a deep breath and be very much patient. There's no need to really rush anything. Really, that's the truth. Yeah, thank you, Sissy. What does this mean? I already gave the meaning. Yeah, the meaning is you knowing how to retreat and not just fighting everything. And this is something that is applicable in every area of human life. So everything you fight for, we've all been groomed and we've grown to hear statements like, fight for what you believe. Yes, it's true. But it's not every fight you've got to fight. There's a, you know, do you know these animals, pardon me, called, you know, rams, like the male versions of sheep? Whenever they are fighting, there's a time they come, you know, and lock their horns in head collisions. And there are other times they just, you know, go back. They draw back. They just walk backwards and then they come to relaunch. Why? Because it's in that they are drawing back. This is a kind of trait that is very much relevant not just to rams. I think major herbivores who are oofed, they do that. They just walk back and then they launch again. What is this saying? Learn to reevaluate, introspect, and draw back sometimes to understand the reality of things before you go fighting again. Because if you're fighting a battle every time with the same approach, you might not just get different results. So I think it's applicable in trading. Trust me, I think it is. So now I've looked at link. I think, okay, fine. I'm looking at several other assets. I just think, you know what, guys, fine. I'm gonna probably analyze Solana today. Let's analyze Solana because I think that's just the best I'm gonna probably do. Let's analyze Solana, and then I'm gonna come back and analyze. Look at this chart. I'll come back and analyze EGLD. I want to analyze EGLD today. This is a key level, right? You can tell it's a key level. It's a key level. Never look up, supply turned, demand zone, blah, 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 blah. Will Solana get there? I'm not saying it will. It has really made a very crazy drop, right? Think of the fact that it is down, how many percent now? From its all-time, even though for me, I don't think Solana really made some very great move this particular period because the 2021 bull market really was the enjoyable moment of Solana. Like from $3, it went crazy. But now we saw Solana in this previous cycle going from maybe $15 or thereabout, or $8, I think, at its worst time, going to like maybe to 58, barely 10-15% above from its previous all-time previous all-time high. Not something really huge. So it's been down how many percent from that candle week? Solana has been down 79%, not bad, kind of good. So right now it's a good buying point. I think anything from here till 46 is a good point to buy, $45. So yeah. What's my analysis of Solana? Will I draw wedge? Will I draw a rising wedge, a descending wedge? I don't know what you would want me to draw, but I purely look at the market on each candlestick's price action and liquidity play out. So some people will say this is a M pattern, fine, and they will draw some rules. It has broken the neckline. I don't think I want to do that. So I'm drawing this pattern because I want to see what's there. And for you all's sake, okay, does this work? Does this work? Is this real? Does this work? Is this okay? Is that a trend line? If it is, let me know in the comment section. If you think it is, is that also a trend line? If it is, let me know in the comment section. If you think it is, I want to extend that to be straight. Let's see. Okay, I think it's sort of a trend line. This one is like a trend line. Yep, because these points seem to be holding. So let me just also check. Oh boy, I think I'm gonna probably say something right now. I don't know where we're gonna probably have in this market play out. I just don't. This is the eye that is valued. So, what do we think the market is gonna probably do? I'm very much suspicious of this market. I suspect this market a lot because the exact thing you think it's not gonna do is what sometimes it does. I don't know if it's gonna probably arrange like that. Don't know, could be wrong. But then look at this right now. Sorry. This is a huge drop and then a reaction that back there. Then this can do indecision. So So we are still on a short, right? Yes, we're on a short on Ethereum and BTC. That's the lower high that sponsored this next lower low, which is what we had here. And as it stands now, let me take this trend line off. The market has really, retraced a little bit, right? But then we are indecisive. The last week's candle was indecisive, and of course, this is a weekly candle, by the way. What the market's likely going to be doing is, boy, oh boy. This is a key level. This analysis is very much wobbled, and I don't know, that eye led to this low. Then we have this eye. Could lead to a new low, or this eye is going to be taken out. I mean, what do you all think about this analysis on Solana? Do you have some pattern that you sort of use, on a daily time frame? Let me just sort of zoom into that's not going to probably affect my delivery. Okay, fine. Cool. Also, it's a bit low, but so the daily time frame, as of yesterday, this is what we had. There was no major push. The market is sort of like a range. That's where it is. Market is like in a range. Not so much to really say. One of the basic thing any trader learns trading, what was taught is don't trade a range. But at least that's the upper band of the range, is lower band of the range. When it dumps here, you take a buy. When it rises, you take a sell. So this range is sort of valid. So I must say that once it breaks above the range, we know what side the market wants to take. But again, that's what I think right now on this market. This is a range, right? I think that's it. And above each range, liquidity is resting, right? So you just must tell yourself that fact. That's true. So what's going to probably happen right now? This is the top of the range. The Solana is. What's your take? I'm gonna be right back. Just a moment. Stretching my leg. I'm gonna be right back. All right, guys. So, yeah, where's my face? It's here. So, what do we see this market probably doing? I think let's just be open-minded to seeing what it's going to probably be doing because at the end of today, this is still a daily time frame. Solana currently had its candle open at $78 and is currently sitting at $32. And in the sessional view of things, I think this is what we have. Yeah, let me just show you this. Okay, sorry. This is not dance. So for Solana, London session bought and sold, Tokyo sold essentially. And I don't so London is like a manipulatory market, while Tokyo is more like a sorry. London is more like an accumulatory market. Tokyo is more like a manipulatory market, and or maybe distribution, who knows. And then New York will do the exact thing Tokyo did. Either it distributes upward or it manipulates downward. Now, I mean, I don't like playing it within a range, but then this is where we are currently. I'm going to be honest with you, stay out of the market. Let's go read some news and again get back to the summary of why we are probably here. I mean, I think that's going to be a good one for us. So we stay, much more informed. And of course, I must say, from today till tomorrow, and of course, till the end of this week, we need to know there is going to be so much volatility in the crypto markets. There's nothing we could do about it right now. Having understood, right, that there is, the US-Iranian war still ongoing. So nobody needs to deceive anybody. We just have to face the fact that when there is war, especially gold, they buy metals, they buy oil, buys. So sometimes crypto suffers for it and then stocks. That's the fact. I'm just going to face it heads on. So I think we've read that news. So let me just find this just a new reload. Okay. All right. 12. Okay. These are the news we have. Pakistan seeks $10 billion US facility. ICE expansion digital asset and stables. Let's look into that. Then strategy stop buying Bitcoin. Why? So Pakistan seeks $10 billion US facility, ICE expansion in digital assets and stablecoins. Pakistan has formally requested a $10 billion bilateral exchange stabilization support facility from the US, aiming to strengthen its forex reserves and advance its digital assets or digital finance initiatives. So Finance Minister Mohammed Horagzeb presented the proposal to US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. The requested facility would have a term of up to 5 years. So in summary, Pakistan is taking steps to diversify its economic safety nets, balancing traditional macroeconomic policy measures, digital asset innovation in order to adapt to a rapidly evolving financial landscape. Great. And of course, the request for support aligns with, accordingly, a broader strategy to develop digital assets. Earlier this year, Pakistan partnered with the World Liberty Financial to explore launching a stablecoin backed by the US dollar, in addition to examining other blockchain-based solutions. The main goals for this initiative include modernizing international payments, boosting remittance flows, and expanding digital financial inclusion. I think that's pretty much a thing the US is going to be like, okay with. So I mean, that more like a bullish news. This is a summary of what this is about, and of course it's in conjunction with the $1 or USD1. I've forgotten what that stable is. It's for the United States, and it's an agreement with the World Liberty Finance. So those are the assets this is likely going to be impacting on. And there's already news about strategies stopping is continuous buy. I'm already suspecting Bitcoin. Suspecting Bitcoin, guys. I'm really suspecting the market big time, trust me. The strategist of buying Bitcoin, the flywheel runs backward. What do we see here? Let's read the news downward, guys. So 4 weeks without adding a coin. Really? 4 weeks, a month. Call it what it is. This guy always buys Bitcoin. And sometimes a lot of us who are, having pennies in our wallets, not in our mind, right? We sometimes wonder, will Michael Saylor ever stopped buying Bitcoin? Will he ever? This guy gets Bitcoin. Strong trend rewards patient reward. Strong trends reward patient traders, not emotional. All right. Yeah, we sometimes think this guy does have truckload of dollars that does not end. So the almighty Michael Saylor can get to a point where he just goes 4 full weeks without buying Bitcoin. Anyways, so 4 weeks without adding a coin, 2 of them spent selling. So 2 of the 4 weeks, Michael was selling. A $1.25 billion sale authorization on file, and stock sales now funding a cash pile instead of Bitcoin. The most influential machine in crypto has shifted into reverse. Why? Do you think it's a good time to really ask questions like, why? Why is Michael, for God's sake, on a sell gear? This is a summary of this news. Strategy has gone for consecutive months. Sorry, that's not a good one to actually envisage. The strategy has gone for consecutive weeks without increasing its Bitcoin position. Its longest such stretch in 2 years. 2 weeks of selling followed by 2 weeks of no purchases, with holdings parked at 843,000 Bitcoin, 775 Bitcoin, since selling 3,588 coins for roughly $216 million to fund dividends. Famous flywheel was inverted. The company is still raising money for $66.7 million in 1 week. Wow. So they've raised the money. $63 million the next, but proceeds now build a US dollar reserve of $3.2 billion instead of buying coins. So they were not going to use what they've just recently raised to go buy Bitcoin. What? I think it was it Luna that asked the question right here on those group. Says, who's the holding cash waiting for a bigger dip? I think the almighty Saylor is. Apparently, he's having a stash of close to $3.2 billion. Yeah, he's holding. Who knows, maybe he wants to buy Bitcoin at a lower price, or maybe he's just trying to be so sure he's playing safe and not being over leveraged. Either ways, again, I'm going to be emphasizing this truth. Holding cash is a market strategy. Not tell you for free. You need to just appreciate that statement of truth that you also holding cash is a strategy. It's a strategy, bro. It's a strategy. Wait, let me even check. Do we have us? Bruh. Yeah, it's a strategy. It is a strategy. You holding cash. Hi, Mary. Thank you for joining. You holding cash is a strategy, brother. Wait a minute. Just gonna tell you for free. Okay. I want to just add something to what we're saying. So let's get going. The trigger is arithmetic. MicroStrategy or MSTR trades below the value of its own Bitcoin with enterprise net asset value under 1, making share issuance to buy coins dilutive, while preferred dividends with STRC raised to 12% must be paid in cash and more than never budgeted for. So the reversal is systemic, not just corporate strategy. Invented a treasury company playbook that dozens of imitators copied, and it's shifting to selling coins and hoarding cash. Rewrites the template while capital B reverse splits and Mara liquidates. Whatever that is, I don't think it really matters. The question is, the market is actually pricing whether this is a disciplined path for a company managing through a 50% Bitcoin drawdown, or the beginning of the sequence skeptics always predicted, where the largest corporate order becomes the seller of last resort. Guys, I just hope that would not happen. The day when MicroStrategy gets to liquidate 400,000 Bitcoins, that is going to be a bloody day. You'd see Bitcoin from like 61K going to touch down 15K. Anyways, that's the summary of the news right now. So Strategy stopped buying. It sold for 2 weeks, and for 4 weeks it's been not buying. What do you think about that right now? Do you think you're really ready for what is really coming? Do you think we are at the peak of the market? Let me know what your all takes are. This is really, really important. Really, really. See is so I'm just gonna take everyone's thought on that. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Hey, don't play on this, don't sleep. Now is the time for you to act safe. Let's get back to the headlines. We just take 2 or 3 more headlines and we're gonna be wrapping this up for today. Let's look at what the XRP whales are really doing. Yeah. Waiting for the news to load. There you go. XRP whales ramp up buying as price climbs to 2-week high. So what are we going to probably be doing? So XRP whales are 2.8% more holdings, strengthening the bullish breakout case. So how does XRP price looks like? I think I would love to open just this, if you don't mind me looking. Look into the XRP price on this CoinMarketCap chart. This stable crypto, I call it a stable crypto because you already know we talked about that yesterday. 24 hours. And it's going to be like so good. Okay, fine. We already have a candle chart. I was about saying they should have a candle chart anyways. Nice. So what do we have here? Where's the breakout? I'm trying to make sense of the breakout. It might just break out anyway, so let no one deceive anybody. I mean, but then what do I think? Do I know? The breakout. Let me look at it. Oh yeah, that's a breakout. That's true. You have it. Yes, that's a trend line breakout. There's a trend line that's been held, and then there's a breakout. Well, we might just have a retest and a continuation anyways. And again, nobody knows what exactly the market is going to eventually do. The best we could always do is just to prepare for the worst. That's a breakout. And indeed, the news did mention that there was a breakout. So maybe it's going to be like a retest. And this retest might just bring the market a little bit down here like that and go all the way back up. What do you guys think about that? Anyways, let's get back to the news. It says this. XRP's climb to a 2-week high is being supported by more than improving sentiment. Fresh on-chain data from Sentiment Intelligence shows the network's largest holders are steadily accumulating, reinforcing expectations that institutional and high net worth investors are positioning for further gains. Clear. And again, you already know from the price charts that XRP is down from, let me look at the 1 month and 1 year high. Let me just go back to this line graph. From the 1 year high, XRP has been down many percent right now, guys. Can we check? So the all-time high, wait. Let me go back to charts, guys. Yeah, I think it got to $3.6. So XRP has been down 68%. So this is a good opportunity for anyone who wants to really capitalize on the current dip to buy. But then that's it. Really that's it. So now, whether it's holding between 100,000 and 100 million XRP, commonly referred to as whales and sharks, have increased their combined holdings by 2.8% over the last 5 weeks. The buying spree coincided with XRP reclaiming 1.16 before easing to $1.14, and it's currently trading at $1.13. And that's what you have on CoinMarketCap. So, I mean, what is happening right here is, again, proving the fact that everyone have their own perspective. You might be thinking you're retail, wanting to buy, and there is sailors say, I'm a whale wanting to wait. Just, I must say at this point in time, and which is, again, my own take, just know what you're doing, and of course, stick to what you're doing. right? And what you're doing should just be some informed decisions. I already said I'm already buying into some asset right now. I think that's the truth, and I think everyone should really much more be focused on being strategic in their entry positions, rotating funds, but also retaining cash. So I'm just gonna probably write this on my comment group. So yes, rotate funds into crypto, but retain cash, right? I think that's very important for me to say. Everyone knows. Yeah, that's very, very smart if you really want to have it and live a sustainable, what do you want to call that? Trade play in the whole of the market. Rotate funds to this is kind of important because when sudden fresh levels of D presents themselves, trust me, you're gonna be having a good opportunity at buying these stuffs. Okay, guys, let's take one more news and then we're gonna probably be wrapping things up right now. So I think that's all there is for the XRP news. So I think we need to look at the spot Bitcoin ETF's record $203 million in 6 straight day of inflows. For the 6th consecutive day, US spot Bitcoin ETFs put in fresh capital, pulling $203 million in net inflow on July 21, according to social value data highlighted in a market update by Wu Blockchain. The Ethereum side of the ETF complex also stayed in the positive territory, recording about $38 million in net inflows and extending its own streak to 3 days. The twin streaks land as the broader crypto market digests a handful of institutional signals that go well beyond daily flow numbers. So this is telling us what we already have been talking about. We noticed that there was a 20. Yeah, cash is really important. Thank you very much, Cici. We noticed that there was a New York Exchange is started right now. I must say it. Please very much careful. Anything can actually happen. We just might see some great move, but please stay safe. Notice that it was a 34% uptick, right, in volume. I think it was Justin also that helped with that notice on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we noticed that it was like about a 16% uptick on Ethereum specifically. So in essence, there's been so much money being rotated into crypto right now. And I just hope that would not be exit liquidity for people like Sailor, who haven't bought anything for 4 weeks. Okay. So institutional appetite, excluding Sailor anyways, spreads beyond Bitcoin ETF. So the steady bid for spot product sits alongside a parallel development that is reshaping on-chain market. RWA's or reward asset tokenization has now surpassed $20 billion on-chain, with firms like Bullish and Ondo moving real settlement infrastructure. When ETF inflows persist and tokenized treasuries reach new milestones in the same quarter, the story becomes less about one fund category and more about a structural shift in how institutional capital accesses digital assets. What Bitcoin ETFs may be the most liquid on-ramp, but they are no longer the only one. So I think it's very much clear what they're saying right now. Institutions are beginning to not only be way more positioned, but they seem to be very much fixated on knowing their game of staying bullish, right? RWA is also helping stuff with the intentional tokenization of, majority of the US stock markets, right? Ondo and of course Bullish is really helping on that, which is also easing real settlement for everyone who is probably buying or selling stocks right on chain. So you're aware you literally could buy Tesla on FameX. If you don't know, like now you could buy gold on FameX. Think of some common metals and of course natural gases. You could buy them on FameX. Why? Because of this institutional positioning. And again, this is more reason I'm going to be saying for the last time in today's live session. There's a link around this video that's going to probably help you to get funded with close to $400 as bonus once you sign up on FameX. Use the link, get signed up, verify, deposit, and of course claim the bonus. Great, and win. Again, There's an opportunity for you to be positioned alongside with institutions. So, what we're seeing right now is there's a lot of battleground in regulations with the Clarity Act, but that does not explain out the fact that institutions are also positioning. So that sailor is not buying does not mean some bids are not currently going on in the entire crypto market. So Bitcoin is signaling or eyeing 70K, and I think it's literally pushing its way to that zone. I think it's just perhaps a time for every one of us to reevaluate our dispositions and conclusions to the market right now. So I want to say thank you for coming. It's been sort of very great moment of sharing with you what I think about the market and analyzing this whole thing. I don't know if there's any question for me in the comment section. Any question right now? Question, please. Let's see if there are questions. Again, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, New York session is really pushing the market really upward. Ethereum is on 1927. Solana is on 77.35. Bitcoin is on 65,650. And I think this is just a start. It's very possible we see the market really making some very unusual push to some very unusual heights. So all I'm just going to probably say, stay safe. Stay safe. That's how you could play safe. Stay safe, play safe. All right. In the absence of no question, I think I'm going to probably be calling to a wrap. And of course, appreciating y'all for staying with me up until this very point in time. Right. Yeah. So 65,700 and $42. So I mean, Bitcoin hasn't yet taken that low right now. It's possible that low still hold. But again, I'm just going to probably say let's all stay safe. Probably get back to our discussions and all of this, and I'm going to be looking forward to hearing from you all some other time again. Don't forget to keep following us across board on YouTube, on iChat. By the way, you should be joining us on our live stream on iChat. It's very much interesting and of course fun to discuss with great people there. See you soon. Keep winning, keep trading, and of course keep choosing MX for every of your trade. You're very much welcome. Peace out, and of course bye.